We're going to focus on the reading from Genesis for today. Also, just to be on the same page, we're going to talk a little bit about the meanings of those different names in this passage, because changing a name is significant. Here we have Abram to Abraham and Sarai to Sarah. Just to understand the nuances here, Abram, best I could find, means exalted father, and Abraham is something a little different, father of multitudes. Now, Sarai and Sarah both have an underlying meaning of nobility or like princess, though Sarai seemed to mean more like my princess, whereas Sarah is just princess. There's a little moreness to it, a little less of just to that person or family and more to everybody. Without doing a major dive into that maybe took up the whole week, there you go. And my apologies for any gaps or elements that may not have been addressed there. But the point being that these changes are something more than just changing a letter or two for an interesting spelling, right? These changes carry meaning with them. And that's significant. Names are significant. What others call us and what we call ourselves is significant. Think of a name tag that you might be given at a meeting or event. As we go through this, I encourage you to think about what gets written on that name tag. How are you identified? In this passage, Abram encounters God. At an advanced age, having none of the children, that is any, that he and his wife apparently have wanted and hoped for. I could imagine Abram, whose name means exalted father, saying, I'm not even that. That's not who I am. And God saying, you're right. You're not exalted father. You are father of multitudes. Not just any, but many, and my chosen people. Those are to be your descendants, and that is a covenant. And Sarah, she will be the mother of those nations, noble, royal in name and definition to all the people as well. Their names are changed. Abram to Abraham, Sarai to Sarah. And it's significant. There's something about the identity and definition of these people that gets changed here too. I can imagine Abram and Sarai both saying, I am not what the world says I should be, what the world thinks I should be, what even those who know me enough to have given me my name thought I should be. I am not that. And God saying, you're right. And that isn't a failing or a curse to not be what the world says. It's a blessing because you are now living the life I covenant with you. Abraham, Sarah. We can feel at odds with the world ourselves sometimes, with the names the world gives us, with the labels the world gives us, and the labels we even give ourselves. But our God-given identity is different from a world-given identity. It is here in this passage, and that's a good thing. Blessing and life and hope and dreams become reality. They are literally born from this change. This change in known identity, in self-description, and in God's description. Think of that name tag again. What do you think God would write on that name tag? What is your identity as a child of God? I encourage you to continue to think about that throughout this week.